Salad or Dolly, threw a great party. We all drank Bacardi, it got kinda gnarly. We're light as a feather, we're tougher than leather. Together we're weirder together.
Hey.
Ew.
Hey.
Ayo, yo, yo. What do you got to say for yourself?
I was trying to do the Quen. Hey.
Oh,
How does she say it?
Quen Blackwell.
Ay.
Yeah, I don't know. She
Ay.
screams. She's got a charismatic scream.
Oh, she's a charisma maker.
Here we are, one of the phenomena of being in Australia over the Christmas break is how profoundly everything shuts down. I think people don't realize that. And as a result, I am in my probably 2 weeks overdue for a haircut.
You've got a kind of like, it's like a Caesar.
I'm squeaking away.
You're squeaking away.
Okay. Yeah.
That's super annoying.
Yeah.
But your hair is cute. It's it's like a Caesar. What is it? Like, it's grown out.
I call it a Caesar Milan in that it is dog whistling to others that I need a haircut. But the product is doing a lot of work right now. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, that product is good.
The product
it looks
is
like
good.
deodorant, but it's not.
So we're just back from a week on tour. My wife, my love, my muse,
Aww.
my business partner.
Yeah.
You came on tour with me, regional touring around Australia. We started up in Bellingen.
Amazing. That was a great town. It was like it reminded me of kind of Ojai, Topanga, Santa Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like a great town. We had
little Sedona in there, maybe a little
Sedona, like that kind of vibe. I had some great interactions with adorable children who were just. This one boy in particular, we were eating breakfast, and he was sort of in these trees behind me eating a chocolate frozen banana, and he was 4, and he was just standing, kind of people watching, and he sort of like cuddled up against me, and he was just I love it.
You have such an amazing way of talking to children. I
don't do the thing like some parents say, "How are you? Oh, do you like school? What do you like in school?" Starting to ask tons of questions. And not only are the questions like about like school, like who wants, but also like kids don't necessarily want to answer questions like they're on a quiz show or something.
Definitely not. No, they want an organic, authentic interaction, which you offer them.
Unless the questions are silly and funny and whatever.
You really I don't want to say there's no condescending element. You don't go down to their level, but you get your hands dirty. You're like on the ground. If they're playing with something, you start playing with it.
Right.
You get a very natural type of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We did that. The show was incredible.
Roy Malloy, last show he opened for me. That was so great.
Yeah, Roy Malloy. That was a beautiful theater, beautiful purple. I'm seeing a lot of like purple in design, like at the Opera House, these purple carpeting in one part.
Purple was a big 90s color.
Yeah. And was it 90s or 80s?
Maybe 80s.
Yeah, maybe
80s. You're right. Yeah,
and 70s. Anyway, it goes
No,
in
you're
and
right.
out.
I picture like Beverly Hills 90210. There was a lot of like
and red carpets became more of like a chic kind of thing. But so anyway, there was a purple robe. No.
Well, we in show business we call it a curtain.
Curtain.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of robes, night after that, or 2 nights after in Port Macquarie, someone handed you a robe in the beginning of your set, put it on. You looked kind of like the Big Lebowski or Gustav Klimt, sort of.
Or Harry Nilsson on the front of.
Yes, or Harry Nilsson. It was this look that was I like the Klimt look. It had a kind of like a painterly boho look from. Klimt, I don't know when he was.
Yeah, I performed the whole show with that robe on and then brought it home, chucked it in the laundry with our whites, and hence I have a yellow Tropical Fuckstorm t-shirt now, and I dyed your favorite Bangkok shorts.
Ugh, and will I ever be able to? I got these shorts. When you're away and you like go to you see these things that are like $10 and you're like, wait, do I get like 5 of these cotton shorts? They are so good material. They're going to be like, I'm going to live in these cool shorts.
Mm.
So I got a green pair and a white pair. And now, so I'm looking at the tag, which is in Thai. And I did a Google image search, but it said it thought it said silk, which is similar to this language. So I'm going to find someone who can read Thai and tell me what it says. Who knows?
Godspeed. A more noble mission, I cannot imagine.
Well, we went last time to have a suit made for your tour, and maybe I'll go next time.
Yeah, you'll go just to buy $5 white shorts from the market.
And will I be able to find that? It was like the biggest market ever.
It was a time and a place. I feel like I was so Bob Weir died from the Grateful Dead this week. And the Joker Men podcast released an old episode they did about a Dead & Co show, which is, about the Dead thing with John Mayer that tours around. They like unlocked something from behind their Patreon. And amongst other things, there were some real gems in this, but I loved the way they talked about what the Grateful Dead and Bob Dylan had in common.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how they are two artists who are at peace with transience and change.
Oh.
And how so many artists, essentially the reason everything becomes more corporatized over the years is because everyone tries to like build structure around things, whereas artists who, are at peace with the fact that like everything passes, everything changes. Anyway, this is a long way of saying that perhaps the era of these white shorts has passed and there'll be a different pair of shorts for you in your future.
Yeah, I do think I can find it.
Can we shout out the Promised Land watering hole? That was definitely a tour highlight.
You were flinging around on that rope. You were, what else did you do? You jumped off of a tree, a very high tree. It doesn't sound very...
It was just fun. It was so
it was gorgeous.
So wholesome.
We sat in just, I love a river. I love it. It reminded me of my stepdad has some land in Oregon and there's a river on the land. But it's like kind of hard to get to in some ways. But yeah, the Promised Land was great.
Now, was there anything about either Australia and these cities or venues or my job touring and playing songs? Was there anything you kind of like that you were awakened to on this week? Like, what did you learn? What were your big takeaways?
Well, I don't know. I'm still getting to know the Australian personality and how like maintaining the celebrity mystique is not as important here, or at least, you know what I'm saying? Like the reason why you wouldn't be hanging around before or after the show is not because you want the mystique. I don't know. There's something about, I'm just trying to say that I really enjoy a personality I'm getting to know with the fans. What else? I mean, it's so civilized and wonderful. I mean, we're touring in beautiful time of year in these beautiful part of the country, all these beautiful, like just the quality of life in like so many of these little towns is really lovely. Like not every show, like we're staying in the most phenomenal, like accommodations, but some are just, I don't know, the nature, it's just like a simplicity. I don't know what else I'm noticing. Also about your tour, thank you for asking about me questions because it makes me feel, I don't know.
Can I get one hair off your face?
Yeah.
There we go. One sec, almost. There we go. Done.
Okay, so to tighten this all up, I'm very impressed with you. I just find, I can't believe how many times I've seen you play, and I just am like so blown away every time. I know you're not asking for flattery, but that's something that it's kind of surprises me every time how good it is every single time. And it's just been like incredible to see you in these different venues.
Good for us to have some time together.
Also,
too.
that was really good.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a great answer.
It was okay. It was all right.
It was mid.
It was all right. It was a
mid.
mid answer, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, like every other married cis het man in the civilized world, I have spent this week listening to you regale me with every detail of heated rivalry.
Yeah. I suppose I'm a little late. I mean, I saw Busy Phillips saying she was late and she was crying during the episode 5 that everyone's freaking out about. But yeah, I was very curious. And I think there's some confusion, like people who thought the sex was too like gratuitous or whatever, too much. But they didn't realize this is a romance fantasy. At firstly, I loved it beyond for many, many reasons. And especially if you know what it is. You're not going in thinking it's going to be, I don't know, the White Lotus or something. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't think that cis men have not seen it just because they're scared of watching gay sex.
Homophobic.
Or homophobic. That's probably
yeah.
a huge reason. But I think it's also that it is a romance. And there is something, women do love those romances. I mean, do you?
Yeah, going back to Fabio or all that, or Joan, is it Joan
or
Collins or who is it? No,
well, yeah, Daniel Steele.
Daniel Steele,
But
yeah,
even
yeah.
just like, did you like When Harry Met Sally?
I did like When Harry Met Sally.
So you
yeah.
like romance, but not as
It's
much.
It's so funny when I think about When Harry
this
Met
is
Sally.
romance, yeah.
I don't remember the romance. I remember the witty banter.
Right.
So for me, it's
Yeah.
more the comedy that appeals to me than the romance.
What's like a romance, like The Holiday?
What's The Holiday?
It's a Christmas movie with
No, Home for the No.
No, it's like
with
it's great.
Cameron Diaz and
Yeah,
stuff.
like that kind of genre.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, at this point,
Say
I feel
Anything?
like Say Anything classic. At this point, I feel like I don't need to see it, as I feel like I've lived it through
No,
your
I think
eyes
you
and through your
do.
loins.
I think you do.
But wait, give to the beautiful babies that don't
All right,
know.
if
Give
you
them
don't
a bit of
know,
a
it's a
wrap up.
Canadian show that has crossed over so majorly. It's almost like it's not fan fiction, but the genre of it's adapted from a book. A woman, I think she's a Canadian woman, wrote a series of books about hockey players and gay romances within some hockey players, and it's like, it's a romance novel, the type that I don't read, but that it's huge genre, this romance novel. And the so I was so curious how she got the gay sex so well, and she dated a bisexual man at one point, the author of the book, and ran it by some gay people because, of course, it comes from this woman's imagination and her desires, but also some of it was so specific and I thought correct. What do I know? But it felt correct. Anyway, it's a lot top spot.
But it's like
a lot
hot,
of it's top
right?
and bottom.
It's like hot.
So hot. The dialogue. So beyond the sex being so hot, the sex also moves the romance along, and the romance and the story is so good. So you're not just watching it. There's some people, like I think Katya immediately downloaded all the sex scenes just so they can watch them. But the dialogue is terrific. And they call them micro moments. It's like the most satisfying, bite-sized, but it moves along. You're never, ever bored. And I'm not advocating, it's not fast TV. It's not like bam, 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 like drives you crazy. And I'm not saying that we only should watch this type of pace because it feels slow, but it's like
the way it's edited, you mean, is snappy?
No, it's not snappily edited. It's just the moments are exactly the amount you want, like in a satisfying way. These bites of moments.
Okay, so wait, is there an element you're saying that is it sort of memifying itself? Like it's creating moments that could work on social media?
It's almost like not an algorithm thing, but the satisfaction of the ups and downs. And the downs are never too heavy and the highs are really high in a good way. So it's like, it's just like the most satisfying, like wonderful experience of a show. And some of the dialogue, like I would go back, like, for example, this is cheeky stuff. So plug your ears if you care, if you don't like
Not
this.
safe for work.
So there's one point where they do it. Like one of the guys is a bottom, and one of the actors he plays a Russian. He's from Texas. He learned Russian, by the way. And these actors they like didn't even have agents, but they wanted to act. Obviously, they were in the game. But so impressive that this Texan, the one with the big butt, if you hear about any of this lore, like the bodies on these guys are ridiculous. This guy's butt, this Texan who plays a Russian, it's the most delicious butt you've ever seen in your life. Like it's insane. Anyway,
It's a Russian peach.
He's Texan, but he walks down the street and people just say ass, ass, ass to him.
He's the ass man.
He's the ass man. He's so cute, but he's a Texan and he's so brilliant. So there also, it's another example of a show that the social media has blown the show up. Like you couldn't put a price tag on what that has done.
Sure,
I mean, maybe you can, but had the studio put in their money, Crave or whatever this Canadian company who did the film, they would not, if it was only
you couldn't plan it. You couldn't plan it.
Yeah. If it's only the studio doing a couple posters.
No, this is totally organic virality.
Is like firstly, the women who love romance just went berserk because they were just like, this is like exceeds our wildest dreams, the fans of that book. And then it just went like wildfire. In any case, so there's a part where after they do it for a couple times, the top, the Russian guy, says to him, you came hands-free or something. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I realized what he meant. Like, just from anal sex, the guy like had an orgasm, which is like super hot. But it
Look at that
crazy.
smile on your face.
No,
it's
I'm just saying.
Deviant. You have a deviant expression on your face.
It's not smutty, but there's one, and it's super romantic first. But there's these occasional lines where you're just like, oh my God. So it's mainly kind of like, I don't want to say tame because it's like pretty real. But anyway, it's just a chef's kiss of a show. And beautiful and fantasy because these are all the fulfillments we wish, which doesn't happen.
Okay. So I have a theory about this too. We have a friend who I'll keep anonymous for now, who for her birthday one year asked her gay male friend, if she could watch him and his partner have sex.
Right.
And they obliged. And this was their gift to her. I think the desire for straight women to watch gay men have sex is like, it's almost like one of the last taboos. It's actually not discussed as widely. And I think part of the reason Heated Rivalry has exploded is because it's tapped into this desire that people weren't talking about.
Yeah. Well, there's something so much about the ache and the desire that's so appealing. And it almost like ruins real life. Because, I mean, you and I have a genuinely romantic, chemistry-filled relationship. And I was aching for some feeling like this after the show that almost doesn't exist. But your romantic songs contain that feeling.
I've often been told I am the Heated Rivalry of indie rock. Yeah.
The aching. So it's a perfect, people love Taboo. And why it's fantasy, because in real life, Taboo is hot and exciting. But in real life, being gay and hiding and closeted, it's not fun. And in this case, it's tragic. And in the two hockey players coming out on the ice rink, everyone's cheering in the show. It's like that would not happen. It's a bit of a Cinderella story. And it's very that satisfying, like the Tristan chord, like there's the tension. And then when it does happen, there's this wonderful satisfaction. It's almost like a gamble feeling of gambling. But yes, the gay thing for women, I think, is they love it because, I don't know, because it's sort of also, people have been breaking it down. The romance between two men, the taboo. Why do straight women love it so much? There's reasons. You Google it. There's a reason. I don't know. But it's...
We got to the bottom of that one.
Yeah. And in real life, I don't know that I'd want to see it in real life. And that's why this show's so great. You don't see, there's no close-ups. But, it's romantic as hell.
So would you say that's the reason the show's so great? Because there's no close-ups?
No, there's the right amount of close-ups. I'm just saying it's not a porno.
Gotcha. Fair. I just saw Alexi Wasser put on her Instagram story. She hates it when people respond fair to something someone says.
Oh boy, probably not you.
She said it sounds condescending, but because in Australia everyone says that.
It in America?
People say. I think people have adopted it from probably Australian and British culture.
Americans, if they say no worries, okay, maybe. But so far, Partner, people are not loving.
People
in
are not
America.
feeling Partner. GQ had a big.
I don't know.
Piece
I mean,
about
I don't
that.
know if someone says, Arvo in the Avo in the what is it? What's that line that people say?
Oh, have some
Avo in the Arvo
in the Arvo at the servo.
At the servo.
Yeah.
Who's doing that? Who's
I don't
having an
know.
avocado at the service station?
Not a lot of people. So Golden Globes yesterday.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was just listening to Matt Bellany.
Oh yeah, what was he saying?
He just was saying all the cringy corporate grabby moments because he's banned because he's a competitor to someone. Someone bought the Globes, who owns like Vanity Fair, and it's like
okay.
And so he's very. One can say it sounds like he's a little bitter.
Oh, so wait, there's a media company who owns it, and he's part of the Ringer.
So he's not invited anymore,
okay.
and he's a little angry, but he also finds it offensive the amount of like. I don't even know. He's just poking holes at all the moments that were like grabby of like press. They were sort of trying to advertise in what's it called?
Undignified manner.
Yeah.
Well, the Hollywood foreign press is notoriously corrupt. Like
but I don't think it's the Gold Globes are the Hollywood foreign press.
No, that's exactly what it is.
Oh, it is anymore. Anyway, I just.
No, that's who votes.
Okay. Yeah. There's something that changed a couple years ago, but maybe you're right.
No, maybe
because
who
they never
owns it,
think they don't.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
no,
So you mean it's actually not them
new.
at all anymore? Okay.
But apparently it's really fun because I don't know. It just the least they were saying on the town, this podcast, that it is because it's the least one that matters the least, which I don't think is true. I think it matters.
It's traditionally mattered as an indicator of what might happen at the Oscars.
Yeah. And I think it matters a bit. Anyway, it looks like a blast. I thought so many of the women were dressed extremely well.
Okay, but look, give us the headline. In Weirder Together World, what matters about the Golden Globes last night?
Rose Byrne.
Rose Byrne,
who
won
is phenomenal.
Best Actress in a Musical Comedy.
As she should. She should win as musical comedy, but also drama. But I think the film is considered a dark comedy. She's incredible.
Has there been a win? I don't remember a win in recent memory that was so like pure goodwill towards Rose Byrne. Everyone is so happy.
Yes.
There's like
it's funny,
she deserves it. It's been a long time coming.
Oh yeah. I know. Everyone loved her. In Bridesmaids, like she's so good in so many other things. But that's sort of, I think, the one that tipped it over. But there's an incredible scene that I'll see on Instagram sometimes. And I think I just rewatched Bridesmaids recently where she and Kristen Wiig, she's as funny as Kristen Wiig in this scene where they're going back and forth about, I forgot what the subject was. Like if something mattered or didn't, because they play nemesis, fighting over being the bestie of their married person getting married. Anyway, she's a great comedian, but she's also, this movie is pure drama. I mean, she's so incredible. She kind of can do everything, right?
But I love the story you tell about when you first met Rose, because it's so indicative of her personality.
Well, we sat by the pool, and I'm just used to actresses, myself included, who just want to monologue about themselves, or they want to be the center and kind of hold court a little bit. And even if they're really shy, they don't really ask a lot of questions of others, Usually it's just not the personality of an actress. We sat by the pool, and I couldn't believe how many genuine questions she was asking. And at first I was like, is she deflecting? Does she not want me to get to know her? Like, where I was like, me, I'm paranoid. I always think people's motives are dodgy. And she just like genuinely is just like curious and nice and smart. And I don't know. I just think she's terrific as a person.
Rose, when, me and Rose were in Rage in Placid Lake together, a little indie comedy film, if people haven't seen it, Australian film. But when she came into audition, she was so remarkably different to all the other actresses. Everyone was super well prepared, and Rose was just the most present person.
Yeah.
Like, I think her presence and her generosity of spirit is a huge part of her gift.
And it's surprising because she is so beautiful and refined. Her beauty and bone structure is so like Vivian Leigh. Like it is just elegant, refined beauty and gorgeousness. And you just think almost she'd be an ice queen.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that she's just like, she's elegant and all of that, but she also is just like quite vulnerable and like flighty in her, and she's just a dream.
I think what I like also as an Australian, and I think is really good for young Australian creatives to see, is that she has fully stayed connected to her Australian humility, sense of humor, sense of absurdity
Oh yeah.
about what's going on. And the proof that you can stay that and still navigate the political games of Hollywood and succeed at it is very reassuring, because you tend to think you have to give up all of that stuff and put on airs and be this sort of alpha, but you don't.
She's sort of you don't, sorry to cut you off, but she's in the category of like Meryl Streep and Jodie Foster have a bit of that. And Meryl Streep and Jodie Foster, I mean, they're just like incredible. And when they do speeches, they just feel quite like Meryl Streep feels like very vulnerable, and like Rose's speech was very funny.
Also, she gave a shout out to Rose Byrne, who is her date.
Did you see him
Yes.
holding her train?
Yes.
I wondered if they planned that. That was very elegant.
Yeah, it was so great. Anyway,
I thought he was going to go right up on the stage.
Yeah, we love Rose. That was even if it is a sort of like silly, arbitrary thing, these awards or whatever, like seeing one of your own get through, it's like, yeah, all right,
Yeah,
I believe.
I mean, it's a lot of publicity, and it's definitely awards. You think, well, why does one person win or one film or whatever? But I do love the celebrating each other. And I like when something is good, like when a song is amazing, I love to think of, I wonder what it was like for Mick Jagger to hear this Bob Dylan song, or like even Heated Rivalry. I love to think of all the gay men, like not Andy Cohen, but whoever watching it and just being like blown
Andy
away.
Cohen's watching it, yeah.
Yeah, like just them just gagging over it. It's just so fun to celebrate one another.
Sure.
And even though this is the top of the game and all of that, I still am like all for like just celebrating one
Speaking of Andy Cohen, the finale to The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City was
unreal.
A masterwork of reality television.
And I loved watching Jon Stewart, Oliver.
John Oliver.
John Oliver. He was on Watch What Happens Live, and I love his comments. Like there's at the end, if you don't know The Real Housewives of Salt Lake, they go to Greece and they have actors do a Greek tragedy about the cast of the show. And so it's going to be...
Which was just terrible.
It's going to be... So basically the director, writer had asked every character, what do you think of Meredith? What's she like? And just got all the dish. But I do love the first line almost about Lisa was so the oldest of the cast. It was so rough, and I love
the oldest
that
of the sisters.
Of the sisters, I love John Oliver was just like this was just rough, but it's fun to see intellectuals like John Oliver and you love reality. It's just so funny that it's sometimes it's like some of the smartest people I know love The Real Housewives, some of the shows.
I'm excited for the reunion.
Yeah, that was an amazing
it was a great episode.
Finale.
I'm excited to have I just did 6 shows in a row and 3 before that. I'm ready for a little break from it. And I'm writing. I'm so excited about the writing I'm doing. And
my God. Your new songs are just so good.
Thank you.
It's crazy.
I'm working hard on them. I feel like you have to think this when you're writing, but I do feel like I'm writing some of the strongest material I've written. It's like very personal.
I'm like hooked. They're very good.
Thank you, my love.
I feel good.
Well, we got to split and get to Goldie's film school, her holiday camp, and help her make a short movie today.
Yeah. So yeah, that was that. I was all over the place, but that's okay.
You're amazing. I love partying with you.
Me too.
And I think we may be moving upstairs into a different room next week, possibly.
Nelly, yeah.
So we'll see.
Let the light in.
Beautiful babies, we love you. Thank you for checking in.
Thanks
Be
for
back
listening.
with you shortly.
We love you. Thanks for letting us know you like the pod when we see you out on the field, out in the wild, and see you in a week.
See ya.
Together we're weirder together.